Hi, I'm Josh Vogel, filming Sloth Snacks. So today, I wanted to talk about having like a personal philosophy of grappling, and then using that to kind of guide the technique selection that you make when you're choosing what kind of game you want to build. So, for example, my goal as a grappler is to be able to get as good as possible without getting injured, without having surgeries, um, and having a game that I can maintain into my 50s and 60s and beyond if I'm still grappling at that point. So the techniques that I do are going to try to favor those goals. So, for example, um, a lot of my grappling style favors really close in, tighter positions and less dynamic movement. So stuff like bottom of half guard, top of half guard, top of the mount, back control, stuff like that. And then my ways to get to those positions are generally not super dynamic, because when I do a lot of dynamic scrambling and movements, especially on slippery mats, I tend to get hurt more. Whereas if I do more tight, close positioning where there's less big movement going on, I get hurt less. So now once I choose those positions that I play, and my end goals where I want to end up, on the back with a rear naked choke, on top of the mount with a head and arm choke, etc., then I want to start picking my techniques based on, again, those goals. So for example, if I make it all the way to the top of the mount, I do all this hard work to sweep somebody, pass their half guard, get to the mount, my finishing techniques are going to be ones that don't leave me vulnerable to uncontrolled scrambles, and also are high reward, low risk. Meaning, if I go for a technique and I screw up, there's plenty of room for error, where I'll still have my positioning and I can always go for the technique again, which is why I choose the head and arm choke. So if I go for a head and arm choke from the mount, I can mess up maybe 2 or 3 different things and still have my mount position. And then if I lose my mount position, it's usually going to be to half guard, and then I can usually recover from half guard to the mount. So there's a lot of room for error. Whereas if I go to the mount and I go for an arm bar from the mount and I screw up, I'm one mistake away from losing my position or getting my legs attacked with leg locks. So my first attack would usually be a head and arm choke. And it doesn't mean I don't do arm bars from the mount, it just means that they're lower on the food chain of what I would try first. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. Just again, to recap, the idea is have an idea of how you want to grapple, what goals you're looking to accomplish as a grappler, and then let that influence the positions, techniques, and game that you build.